Hi, John.
How did films turn out on
Hi,
the
Joe.
You made it?
Oh, but see, I don't put much mayonnaise in it 'cause I know you don't die.
Well, we appreciate that, but it was awful good. However you want to make it, it'll be fine with me.
Right. But I always put some little on top of myself, so. And I'm here just serving. Yeah. Oh.
Does it look so good?
I have to put a little top, a little mayonnaise on top of that.
Here's the master cook over here at work.
What do y'all make?
Well, my part's going over the bridge.
I didn't either till I found that. I'll give it to you.
Is it good?
I haven't tried it, but I want you to try it.
You want me to try it?
Yeah. But it
No,
shows you there how you can make enough for the whole church.
And you listen to your daddy.
See, carnal knowledge, knowledge of flesh.
I tried to.
I see.
Yeah. Does it matter, grandfather, where we sit?
No, sit where you want to.
Because, see, I didn't.
Nine months of growing season, and that's it. About 9 months of grazing season.
Yeah. So it's gonna play out pretty soon.
Yeah.
Well,
So I
maybe call him up. You want me to go with you to call him up?
No, I was gonna call him up, but I just want you to know,
Okay, I'll go ahead.
and I want to talk with you now. Down the road, we've got to be making some plans for that farm. And I didn't know how much involved you wanted to get in.
I'd love to get involved in it, but I'm too far away.
Well, I don't know. You get you an airplane, you'd just be 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
Father in heaven, we're extremely thankful for this family. Forgive us of our sins and accept our thank you this food. We ask in thy name. Did you do that, Dick? Did you do that?
Again.
Talk to her, Joe, and ask her if his muffin's all right today. Yeah?
Though Joe wants something, he
You get
said
enough,
don't stop.
All
You
right.
get enough?
And thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll take one of the dead.
Well, I'll take one. You go ahead and sit down. I'll take one of them.
Well, that's nice of you. Yes,
You
thank
go ahead and sit down. I'll
Now,
take one.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I don't want one.
Here's old Johnny Egger. Look over here, Mr. John. Hey, babe.
You said you want some more.
Got a
tea?
mouthful of those
I want
muffins.
to get on the other side.
You all enjoying your dinner?
Oh, it's lovely. We're so happy to be here in this beautiful place. John, there's your daddy up there taking pictures.
Well, you don't come see me often enough. You haven't been over here in a year.
So we got to come back more often.
Last summer.
Get to come back more often.
You got to play soccer. You got to
I play soccer games and all
That's
those.
the reason I'm trying to get your father interested in that farm and get him some stuff out there so he had to come over here and ride that horse. Well, as you know, I've told you before, I purchased this lot, which was some 6 feet higher than it is now, from Mrs. Hostin, the widow of Dr. Hostin. And I bought it in the late 1930s. And it was too tall, so we asked the city if they'd like to have the dirt, and at that time they were building the street. And they said yes, they'd like to. So we cut the lot down some 6 feet. It was 6 feet tall. But on this property was the first hospital in the city of Meridian, called Mattie Hussey. It's named after a lady, and she was very instrumental in what's called the Fortnightly Club here, and they spearheaded the construction of the hospital back. The hospital itself was torn down in 1928, as we learned from abstracting the property. But shortly after I bought the property, World War II came into existence, and there was a freeze on building material, and they couldn't build what we wanted to, so we had to wait. We had to wait until 1946 to begin the construction of the house. So the house, after developing the plan, and the plans of this house are drawn from one over in Brandon. Belongs to Mr. Cox. The only part of the house, so is property from Mr. Cox, is the front porch. You notice the front porch has a very uniqueness about it. And the architect that drew the plans for Mr. Cox's house in Brandon gave me a set of the plans for this house, and our architect here then drew the plan for the house with the front porch of Mr. Cox's house in Brandon attached to it.
That was Mr. Brassfield, wasn't it?
But Mr. Brassfield was the local architect.
Right.
So that's how then we employed a man named Kemp, J.M. Kemp.
Camp.
Yeah, J.M. Kemp to build the house on a cost-plus basis. We built the house and it was completed in 1946, and we moved in it in August of 46. We started it in February of that year, and that's where we are. And at that time, the property, Mrs. Hostin had developed it, had a real estate agent to draw up the plans for selling these lots. So I purchased the top of the lot over there to the north. But when we started to think about constructing this house, we thought this lot would be more favorable in that I could come in to the south of the driveway. So I swapped the front lot, the north lot, for the south lot. Ms. Hostin was agreeable to it. And later they sold that. And I later purchased it from a man named Bailey, who later moved to Jackson. And now I own both lots, 220 feet front. That's why we have the vacant lot for nothing. I was actually saving that for you and Francis, but neither one of us came back from Meridian. So now we've got a vacant lot, but in-house is a good neighbor.
Yeah.
That's where it is.
Also, you might mention the fact that the house was paid for when you moved in it.
At that time, I was divisional manager of IDS, and we paid for the house on a weekly basis when Mr. Kemp would render a bill. But fortunately enough, my income was such that when we moved in the house, we didn't owe anything on it. We didn't owe a nickel.
And that's a very unusual situation. And as we go across the street, you can talk some more about it, and then we'll go inside and take some pictures. Or maybe around to the back.
The lot, we later decided we would cut it down, so the city cut it down for the date. We took 6 feet off of it. And when we got through with it, there wasn't anything over there but a barren lot.
There used to be some big, huge oak trees on it.
Yeah, there used to be large oak trees.
And they were all cut down.
Everything was cleared off. The lot was nothing but red clay. So everything on the lot now I purchased. I planted and purchased. I did not own this wall. The wall was not here at the original construction of Mattie Hutch Hospital. It was later built here by the hospital. All the streets out here was in only clay and gravel. The hospital built the wall. When the house was originally built, we first built a garage out the back, and then we built the house, primarily to store the building material in the garage while we were constructing the house. We later Hattie and I were visiting Mount Vernon, and we saw the breezeway connecting Mount Vernon with some of the surrounding houses. So we came back and brought a picture of it to Mr. Brassfield and told him we wanted him to make a breezeway or connect the garage to the house following the plans of Mount Vernon. So that's why this archway is shaped like it is. It's copied from Mount Vernon, George Washington's home. See, that's what it is. We later built the driveway, and we had that grass out there, and we found out very rapidly, or very soon, that grass wasn't the answer. So then I got a hold of these used brick, and I covered the whole, you might say, patio out here, which was grass, with these bricks.
Yeah.
In other words, I laid all of those by my hand myself, me and another black man.
Right.
When the plans were originally drawn,